So today I'm going to attempt to survive 100 days in 1.17 Minecraft. I have 3 objectives. First, build myself a survival base. Second, obtain netherite armor and tools. And third, defeat the Ender Dragon. Can I survive 100 days in 1.17 Minecraft? Make sure to watch the entire video to find out. But anyways, with all that said, let the 100 days begin. So here we go. The first thing I wanted to do was to get myself some wood. Collect myself a few pieces of wood because I'll need this for a crafting table so I could make myself a wooden pickaxe. So I made myself a wooden pickaxe and then I went to go and get myself some stone. Collected myself a few pieces of stone because I would need this for some stone tools. So I crafted myself a few stone tools. And then I went out for venturing. Found some sheep. I needed some food, so I had to do what I had to do. And then I came across this cave, so I went to go and investigate. Found some zombies. I luckily took care of them very easily. And then I noticed there was some copper, so I headed over there. I also noticed only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you do want to enjoy this video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. But anyways, back to the video. So I came across this village and I found myself this castle. So I entered the castle and found myself this brewing stand. And then I continued exploring to see what I could find. And I found this pillager outpost. First I need to get myself some leather so I can make myself some leather boots. So I did. I made myself some leather boots so I'll be safe. And then this happened. Yeah, not very good. So I carefully made myself a way over to the pillager outpost, and to my surprise, it was on fire. So I entered the outpost, and there wasn't really anything, honestly, just a lot of flames. So I left. Came across this ruins nether portal, so I went to go and investigate. Found myself this chest with some nice loot, and it was already getting dark. So what I chose to do was to make myself a bit of a cave right here, so I could sleep. So that's what I did. I placed down my bed, and I went to sleep. Day 2, I came across this goat, and then I found myself this another village. And I also found myself this chest with some apples and potatoes, which was very nice. So after that, I came across this cliffside. So what I chose to do was to actually set up base here. This looks like a perfect spot to build a base. So I cleared out a space, and then the next day I cooked up a bit of food, and also I chopped down some trees because I need a lot of wood. Went back home, did a bit of decorating, and also I wanted to make a bit of a staircase right here because in the future I want to build a bit of a room down here. So I placed in a few stairs. Day 4, I just replaced the floor out with spruce slabs, which looks very nice. Also added some stone bricks around to give it more detail, and I also made myself a farm, a very simple farm right here, nothing special. And to finish off the day, I placed in some windows right here. I was very happy. Day 5, I wanted to head to the caves because I wanted to get myself some resources, and luckily I came across this mine shaft, which was amazing. So I entered the mine shaft and I found myself some iron, which was nice. And I also found myself these things right here. And then I found myself some crystals, so I collected myself some. And then I headed home. Got home and made myself a copper block, and I placed it down, and this looks amazing. So what I chose to do was to actually place it in the wall right here. And then I also made myself some iron armor and a few tools as well because I'll need these to keep safe from mobs and stuff. Day 7, I collected myself a few pieces of wood, flattened up the ground a bit, and also added some paths around. And also I did a bit more decorating to my home, added some fences around, which looks very nice. And also what I chose to do was to actually make myself some farms. So I did. Flattened up all the ground, planted in some potatoes, and I also wanted to make myself a bit of a pig farm right here, so I did. And then I went to go out and get some pigs. Luckily, I was able to find them pretty easily, so I brought them back to their new home and they seemed very happy. And also, I made myself a cow farm as well. Now, I wanted to go to the caves and find myself some diamonds, so I headed to the caves. So I went around investigating and I found this another mine shaft, which was amazing. Collected myself a few pieces of iron, then I came across this water cave. So I went to go investigate and I used my spyglass to see what I could see. And I didn't really find anything, sadly. But I came across this really cool lava cave right here. So I came across this really cool lava cave and then I couldn't believe it, diamonds. So I rushed over there the quickest I could and I collected myself some diamonds. I was super happy. Even better, I found myself some more diamonds. This was amazing. So what I chose to do was to make myself a diamond pickaxe so I could get myself some obsidian. So I crafted myself a diamond pickaxe and I collected myself loads of obsidian for a nether portal and also for the enchantment table as well. And then surprisingly, I found myself some more diamonds as well. And then I headed home. Got home and smelted up all the stuff that I collected. And I did a bit of farming as well. Gave some food to the pigs, of course. So I only had a few diamonds, so what I decided to do was to actually make myself a diamond chestplate and also some leggings as well. Also made myself a sword as well. So I made myself this armor stand so I could display my old armor. Day 18, it is now time to make the nether portal. So I placed in some obsidian, I lit it up, and I went through. So I got through to the other side and there wasn't really too much, just a lot of lava, so I went exploring to see what I could find. And I found myself this warped forest. Fought off some endermans because I'll need some ender pearls. So then I went exploring to see if I could find a nether fortress, and luckily after a bit of time I did. I found myself this nether fortress. This was amazing. I collected myself some nether wart because I would need this for potions, and also some soul sand as well. So now I wanted to get myself a blaze rod, so I fought this blaze, and luckily he dropped a blaze rod, which was amazing. Also 1v1 this ghast right here, and I got myself this ghast here. And then I headed home. So I got home, and what I decided to do was to make myself a bit of a nether wart farm right here. So I just used some spruce wood, some spruce fences as well, placing the soul sand and also the nether wart. And there it is, the nether wart farm is done. Then what I decided to do was to go to the village because I wanted to see what else I could find, and I found myself this stone cutter. So what I decided to do was to take it. Day 24 to 29, what I decided to do now was to actually go exploring. So I found myself this dark oak forest, and off in the distance, there it was, sugarcane. So I rushed over there the quick as I could and collected some. And then, even better, I came across this Badlands biome. I couldn't believe it. So I made myself a way over there and I found myself this mine shaft. This was amazing. So I just collected myself some terracotta, and then as I got up this hill, I couldn't believe it. A jungle. As I approached the jungle, there was a minecart. I was a bit confused, so I went to go and investigate. So I opened up the minecart and I found myself this name tag, which was quite nice. And then after that, I headed out. So I continued exploring to see what else I could find. I came across this village. So I headed over there and I found myself this blacksmith, and I went to go and get the chest inside, and there was, just some apples and a saddle, which was quite cool. So I left the village and I came across this desert temple. So I went to go and loot it up, and I found myself some okay stuff. Nothing too special, so I headed out of there. So I found myself this cool mine shaft as well, which was very nice. Day 30, I finally get home, planted in some dark oak saplings, and also I made myself this sugarcane farm right here. Very simple, but it'd do for now. Day 31, I made myself the enchantment table, and there it is, we now have the enchantment table. I was so happy. All I had to do now was to find a perfect spot for the enchantment table, and this looks like a perfect spot for the enchantment table. All I need now is some bookshelves, but I'm going to leave that for another time. So after that, I did a bit of decorating to my house, adding a few more leaves around to give it more detail, and yeah, it looks a lot nicer now. Day 32 to 38, I wanted to actually clear out a massive space here because I wanted to make my own room. Cleared out a massive space, and this took me a little time. Placing some of the new blocks, which looked very nice. Also filling the walls with some stone bricks, adding some lanterns around, and also adding a bit more detail around. And yeah, the room is pretty much done. And what I decided to do was to actually make myself a bit of a furnace room. So I removed all the furnaces and I made myself a furnace room right here. Nothing special, but it looks a lot better. So I just made myself some more armor stands and I placed some iron armor on it. Day 39, I did a bit of farming, harvesting all the sugarcane up, and also some of the potato farm and carrot farm right here. Gave some food to the pigs once again. Day 40, I wanted to actually make myself a bit of a brewing stand area, so I did. And then I made myself some potions, and also I made myself some eyes of ender. Next day I wanted to find a stronghold because I wanted to actually get myself loads of books from the library. So I headed out and I came across this mushroom biome. So I went to go and investigate, and there wasn't too much, but there was some cows. So I headed over there to see what was going on. Nothing really, just typical Minecraft cows. So I threw the Eye of Ender to see where it lead. After a bit of time I finally found the stronghold, so I was so happy. And even better, I found myself the library. So I collected myself some books. And I found myself a second library as well. This was amazing. I found myself this chest as well, which had some enchanted books. This was amazing. And then there it was, the end portal. I couldn't believe it. So now what I decided to do was to head home. So I made myself a way up and I went home. So I got home and made myself some bookshelves, placed them all in. So yeah, there it is. The enchantment table is done. So I just did a bit of enchanting after that to get myself this protection-free chestplate. Day 44 to 55. I wanted to now get myself some diamonds, so I headed back to the caves and I went to go and find myself some diamonds. I got quite lucky. I found myself so many diamonds. This was amazing. So I collected myself enough diamonds so I can actually make myself some diamond tools and also some armor pieces as well. So then I head home and made myself some diamond armor and also some tools as well. And there it is. We now have diamond armor. Wow. So after that, I enchanted my pickaxe and got myself efficiency 4, fortune 3, and unbreaking 3. I couldn't believe it. So I didn't have enough levels, so I headed back to the Nether and got myself loads of levels. Then I went home and enchanted some of my stuff. Day 57 to 66, I wanted to actually start work on some of the survival base. So I made these towers right here, used some of the new blocks, which actually look very nice. Also changed the floor out a bit, and also added these like wooden platforms right here. Added a few fences in to give it some more detail, and yeah, there it is. It looks amazing. Wow. Day 67, I repaired my pickaxe because it was kind of broken, and I did a bit more farming as well. Day 68, I wanted to now get myself a pet dog, so I headed out to go and find myself one. And after a bit of time, there it was, a wolf. So I rushed over there as quick as I could and I went to go and tame it. Wow, we finally have a friend. This was amazing. I was so happy. So then we headed home and what I decided to do now was to actually name the dog. So I went with Bandit. So I named the dog Bandit and he was very happy. And then the next day, I made myself some potions, which, yeah, I needed a lot of these. Day 70 to 82. And now what I decided to do was to actually get myself a full set of netherite armor. So I headed to the nether, collected myself so much ancient debris, and then I headed home. After a bit of time, I finally got back to the nether portal, and then I got home and said hello to Bandit. And of course, I smelted up all the ancient debris, and all I had to do now was to wait. So I made myself a smithing table so I could actually make me armor. And then finally, I made myself some netherite ingots. I was super happy. So I made myself a full set of netherite armor. And also, I hit a netherite on my pickaxe as well. Then after that, I did a bit of enchanting on some of my tools, and I got myself a sharpness 3 sword. So what I decided to do was to combine it with my other sword to make the ultimate sword. And I also turned it into netherite, and also I turned my shovel and axe into netherite as well. And there it is. We finally have netherite armor. Wow. So I needed to get myself some arrows. So I had to take out a lot of chickens to get myself loads of feathers. Also came across this emerald as well, which is very nice. Collected myself some flint, and I went home and made myself some arrows. And of course, to finish off the day, I made myself some more potions. Day 85 to day 90, I wanted to go back to the Nether to get myself some blaze rods. So I did. I headed back to the fortress and I got myself a few blaze rods. And also I came across this warped forest. So I got myself some warped wood. And also I fought off some endermen because I needed ender pearls. And then as I turned this corner, there it was, a bastion. So I headed over there and made myself a way in, and to my surprise, there was like 4 piglins. Luckily I was okay and I took care of it pretty easily. And then I went to go and loot up these chests, and I found myself some very good loot. I was super happy. Also found myself some gold as well. This was amazing. I could actually make myself so much golden apples. And then this happened. And yeah, I did panic a little bit, but I was okay after a bit of time. Found myself a few more chests as well, which had some very good loot. And I found myself a lodestone. This was pretty cool. And then I headed home. It is now time. It is now time. It is now time to go and defeat the Ender Dragon. So I gathered all the stuff I needed from my chest, said goodbye to Bandit, and I headed out. It is now time. This is it. So I jumped through the portal, got through to the other side, and the first thing I did is I made myself a way up, and there it was, the Ender Dragon. So I proceeded to take out all the end crystals. The Ender Dragon was not happy at all. She tried to fire at me, but luckily I was able to get out of the way. So I couldn't reach this end crystal, so I had to make myself a way up. Then I looked, there it was, the Ender Dragon charging at me. Luckily I was okay, and I made myself a way up. Took out this end crystal, and then the Ender Dragon hit me once again. So I quickly made myself another way over to this end crystal, and as I turned around, there it was, the Ender Dragon hit me. But luckily I was okay, and I made myself a way down, and then took out this end crystal. So I had to tower up once again. Then I couldn't believe it. I was hit by the Ender Dragon. But luckily, I was quick enough to get my water bucket, and it saved my life. And there it is. All the End crystals have been destroyed. It is now time to go and fight the Ender Dragon. And there it was. This was my time to do some damage to the Ender Dragon. So I had a golden apple, and I proceeded to hit the Ender Dragon with my sword. And then I was flung forwards. Luckily, once again I was okay. Then I proceeded to do some damage to the Ender Dragon. The Ender Dragon was weak. This was it. This is my time to end this. Took my final swing. There it is. The Ender Dragon has been defeated. We did it. So I collected all the XP, and I also collected the dragon egg as well. And then there it was. Wow, we did it. But there's one more thing I had to do. I had to go and get the elytra. Got through to the other side, and to my surprise, there was an end city right there. So I headed over there, and I was greeted with some shulkers. I took care of that, and I found myself these chests, which had some very good loot. But sadly, did not have the elytra. So I had to go and find myself a end ship. So I headed out, and finally, after a bit of time, I found myself this another end city. Looted up these two chests right here. Found myself some very good loot, and finally the elytra. I was so happy, and I also wanted to go and collect the dragon head, so I did. And now it is time to go and test out the elytra. And now I wanted to go home, so I found myself a Zen gate and I went through. Then finally, after a bit of time, we finally get back home. Day 97, I wanted to make a bit of an area for the dragon egg to go, so I did. So I made it very simple, just used some quart blocks, and I used some of the new stuff as well, which looks very nice. And then I just did a bit more decorating. And then finally, the dragon egg. Wow, there it is. We finally did it. Day 99, wow, 100 days just around the corner. So what we decided to do, me and Bandit, we wanted to go and watch the sunset for the last time in our world. And here it is, day 100. Wow, we finally did it. We finally survived 100 days in 1.17 Minecraft. Well guys, this is where our journey ends. 100 days in 1.17 Minecraft. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out.